Welcome to the bonfire. This is November 29, and here is Andy, and we are continuing our playthrough for the Academy Town, and hopefully this will be the ending part. I mean, the second and the ending part. I don't think there is much to do on this map anymore, only to actually take care of the blue player and also to capture artifacts that are fun to use. And yesterday I finished exactly before I attacked the Dragon Utopia, making this the most anticipated battle of the game. Let's see. So no casualties taken. Sorry, but I still want to see how it goes myself. So here we have our dragons. Our morale -1. And why is that? Do I have some artifacts that decrease their morale? Interesting. Or is it because they're from different fractions? Maybe that's why. It's kind of funny that all my gremlins can actually kill all the dragons. That's a surprise. Very, very interesting. But, well, I can't complain. Definitely it's quite cool. Golems strangely can't catch up, can't run to kill the shadow dragons. And why is that? I thought we actually gave them more speed boost, and this also is not making it to the dragons. Why? Alright, so the shooters took care of the thing, but now I want to check my golems. Why are they not fast enough to cross the battlefield? +2 creature speed, and their basic speed is 6 or not, maybe 4, maybe 4. Let's see. Basic is 4. With the golems march it's +2 and the artifact +2. During the siege, that's when I wanted to get the maximum. Okay, I found the Cape of the Lion's Mane. Increases morale by +2. Not very interesting. Dragon Flame Tongue, that's not what I need because I have shooters, so this time the Dragon Utopia was useless. That's fine. Let's go and check. Maybe. Can we run there? Not visit it. Really? Well, I think because there was some hero and I didn't want to visit because I knew that I would get nothing from there. Alright, let's see. I can buy Silver Pavilion here, and here I bought something already, so we can get it in the third town maybe, but let's wait. I still have one turn left and I can decide. So for example, this Narcissus is coming again to create a problem for me. I don't want to let him into my town, so I think I'll just run down to the bottom and protect my third bastion. So, right, you can go back from thence you came. whence we came, sorry. And now let's see, what can I build? Silver pavilion, and here I can build, I can upgrade the colossi, but I think I'll probably just trade the sulfur and build them here too, because, well, that's a massive loss if I fail to build them again. What? Where am I moving? What are you doing? The week of Colossus. Wow. Nothing could be better. But that means that I'll... Oh, and that's the week when the artifacts were refreshed. Like, look at this. The shackles of the last man, finally. And the bag of endless gold. Another good one. Anything else that's worthy of attention? War machines, nope, not interested. And this is not interesting too. So I buy the bag of endless gold and the shackles. The bag goes to the hero who is responsible for money now, because Kithra has estates, so now she generates 1250 gold. Shackles go here. I want to sell the golden horseshoe, crown of Sorisis, dragon flame tongue, dragon scale armor. They are all useless. I'll just keep my artifacts. Oh, and by the way, what kind of stuff we have here? Cloak of Death's Shadow. Yeah, that's much more interesting, because later I can get something for minus initiative, hopefully, and yeah, this artifact I'd like to transfer to my main hero. And let's move to the windmill. Grok collects what's here and there, and after that I'll attack this wizard. But first, can I buy something? Well, let's not touch our forces yet, because maybe I'll just that is enough. That's good enough. Maybe I'll just collect them for future. From here, I'd like to move to the bottom, I think, and capture the gold mine, because I'm very, very short on money, and I'd like to, well, reverse this tendency. Magic guilds are too expensive for me because of the sulfur resource. Hey, I'm playing PvP, or is this a single player thing? It's a single player. Hello, Lina. That's a pleasure to meet you again here. And I'm always... I mostly play against computers, and that's just how it used to be all my life. And also in multiplayer games, people are very often too toxic, and well, my game joy is easily spoiled by that thing, so unfortunately it happens very, very rarely that I happen to play with people, but I'm thinking of how to actually change that, because for streams, that could be cool to actually have a group of people who play some games with me. And the only issue here is that I need to find that game, like something that is not competitive but cooperative, something you know, that I can enjoy with my preferences, something maybe fantasy oriented, something action based, because it has to be something about show and where it can accommodate maybe 4 players at once. And when I find such a game, we shall probably play together with some people. But for now, I have this single player. Right, let's save the game and proceed to clear up the area. Well, doesn't look like anything here can pose any threat. And let's now finish the turn. Now, golems, maybe they will join me? No, unfortunately they decided to stay hostile. And these guys, corrupted soil, mana regeneration. Will I ever have less mana than even half of what I could have? I don't think so. But corrupted soil is also very... well, it has interesting effect, so for the show purpose. And look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 6 empty skill points, and I won't make it to the maximum development this game, but still I have all other abilities maximized, which is good. Once I actually managed to get all the skill points, because that was a map where the witch huts were so fortunate to give me exactly the skills that I needed. That was so satisfying, but that only happened once in all my playthroughs, so a very rare occasion. There is a mod for this game that improves the AI. You might want to take a look at that. Well, yeah, this game has been modified a lot. I know there are forums which provide people with some alterations, though I'm afraid that mods can be, you know, they can harm the game and it can become unplayable, or some bugs can appear. And as one of the commentators last time pointed out, I think I want to check out the random maps, but about improving the AI, well, it's, for me it's good. I mean, it's of course stupid as hell, but at the same time what AI does still makes sense. Like fleeing is rational, because in this way the computer deprives me of my experience points, so why not? Hello Maki, I am very glad to see you. How is it there? How is South Dakota? That's my traditional question already. And and I think, let me try to read this name, Jan Kodorin Marian. Hopefully that was correct. I think I took you for a wrong person, and I'm sorry. So, is it the first time you're watching me? And if yes, then welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And about this mods for the game, have you tried them yourself? What do you think is the difference? Does it actually make much difference when you choose the alteration, the alternative mod? Well, thank you. I'm glad that I made it, that I was correct with pronouncing. Yeah, so first time. Again, I'm very delighted that you are here, so feel comfortable. I mostly play games which people on the chat usually say aren't popular and tell me to switch to something more trendy, but not that I want to very much. And oh, look at that, lots. This one is a decent one, and hopefully he won't try to capture my town here, because I don't want to give it to him, and I don't want to evacuate the army, though I might need to. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure he won't even try to capture it, because look at how many troops I have here. I forgot that already. So I was saying that I mostly play games that are deemed not to be popular. At the same time, I love those things that I play, so I almost completed, maybe not almost, but 60% completed Deus Ex Human Revolution, and also I finished Arcanum. Now I switched for Heroes, and I got a lot of feedback from people, and so I'm massively enjoying that, the game and the feedback. Thanks guys very much. And I was walking today, and I thought that maybe the next game after I finished Deus Ex, or maybe even before that, is gonna be Vampire Bloodlines: The Masquerade, because it's one of my favorites, and you know that the studio that released it was also the studio that released Arcanum, and they are just, well, marvelous. And Bloodlines, Vampire Bloodlines are gonna be released. I mean, part 2 is gonna be released. I'm not sure it's well, I know nothing about that game yet. I haven't even watched the trailers, but I'm really uplifted that it's happening with many of the games that I used to play and still play, those RPGs, classical RPGs. So let's see, and I think it could be nice preparation for the future release. And McKee says, wonderful, I peep into your streams a lot, but I just don't type and chat even at work when I got some time. Watched your streams past 2 days. Well, that's something really heartwarming. I appreciate that. And yeah, I really cherish the fact that I now play not alone, because I used to do that. Well, most of my life I was playing alone, sometimes with friends, but yeah, now I can share, and I love it, because mostly the games that I show I can tell a lot about, and so I'm trying to use this chance. And actually, last time I was asking about Planescape Torment, should I play that game on the stream too, and if you have any suggestions, please put them on the chat. I'll think about it definitely, seeing if this coincides with what I can actually play decently or what I'm interested in. So yeah, I've tried the improved AI mode. For one, the AI is actually faster, it's also a bit better in the fights, better arrangement, a bit less abusable, and it tries to do as much damage as possible to your army before retreating. Huh. Do you can you maybe drop the name for the developer of this mod, or like where I can look into that, because I'm quite curious now. Arrangement, yeah. Sometimes the arrangement that AI chooses is just abominable. It makes no sense, and you just think that AI went delirious. And well, not that I actually I made a mistake here. Let me load, because I forgot to transfer the artifact. Yeah, I'm enjoying that fact that AI is stupid, but sometimes you just lack the challenge, especially at this stage of the game. Like in the beginning, you can be easily flooded with the enemy troops, because the enemy has more money generated, but at the end of the game, it's just farming with very squishy enemies. Even if they have like 100 dragons, that's still already squishy, because their heroes are pathetic. On Steam, all heroes of Might and Magic are 90% off. Really? I got this one for $6 with all DLC. Wow. Okay. And then the link, I will take a screenshot in case I lose it, but I'll try to just not forget and click on that at the end of my stream. Or maybe I should click now. Yeah, Chrome tab will open. Oh, I've been to this site actually, so thank you very much. I'll have a look. I'll have a look definitely, and maybe the next stream on Heroes 5 will be, how to say, shared experience on random maps and the new mod. And actually, it sounds quite interesting, because don't attack, please, thank you, because it's terra incognita for me, and I'll be, well, thinking, I'll be pondering, I'll be exploring together with you, and that might create some kind of a show, which is always good. Some I try to get out of my comfort zone a lot this year. Just to give some examples, I used to work for an English school, a business, and in February, when the pandemic began to spread, and we were all thinking what to do next, and in March, that became, you remember, quite, well, the scale was too large, and so I was the first one to actually switch to online. And after that, Might of Magic and Memory of Our Blood. Now let's safely return to the place where she should be. So I switched to online. I bought my microphone for better quality of my classes, because I wanted my students to hear, you know, decent quality of voice of their teacher, and I bought like all this necessary equipment for that purpose. And then I thought, if this is now an online world, I would like to begin streaming. And I had thought about that a lot actually previously. I think half of my life I was thinking about this, like more or less, and especially last 5 years, haven't been watching a lot of other streamers and YouTubers, and so I began streaming. In May I bought a camera, a photo camera, and started learning photography, which was very compatible with my profession and my personality, because I love art. I love everything that helps you to unleash your creativity, because I have lots of ideas in my head and I just need to somehow channel this creative energy outside. Otherwise it just, well, maybe you can relate if you have this in your life when you have too many ideas, too much kind of this creative energy, it actually starts intoxicating you. You might even get depressed because you can't release it. And so with photography, that helped to ventilate this out. And then all summer I was very busy teaching, and I was, well, teaching for 4 years without any interruptions, without any holidays and weekends. And so you can imagine that by the end of this marathon I was almost shattered. And so in September I decided to resign and left my school where I had spent more than 4 years, and thought I would go for my own, not business yet, but kind of personal adventure. And I created my public page on the social network, Russian social network. I have an Instagram channel, not a big one yet. And yeah, that's another out of comfort zone action. And then I went to an art school just 1 month ago, and now I study academic drawing, you know, cups with pencil, and then fruit and other very simple objects. It is very simple, of course, it's only the basics, but that's exactly what I need. I know what I want to draw, but I lack the skill. And what I want to say is that it's always very nice to be out of your comfort zone, but it is so stressful at the same time. And I think this year has been very, very productive for me and exciting. And at the same time, I don't remember that I ever had so much like psychological pressure because of my own actions. Like I'm constantly throwing myself out of some beaten track and engage myself into something like unexpected. Nice to hear that you got to follow your dream even a bit later in your life. Yeah, well, I'm only 30, which, well, I can say I'm already 30, and that's a lot. Or I can say I'm only 30, but I think it's still, I'm only 30, because, well, it's a lot of time, there is a lot of time still to do whatever I want. Hopefully, I can reach something more. And yeah, and I haven't responded to this discount message. I have to check this out, because Heroes 5 I bought and Heroes 3 from Ubisoft I bought, and Heroes 7 I think isn't on my wish list, and I didn't see that. So thank you for saying that, because Heroes 7 is something I'd like to try out too. I don't remember how what result AI had for this battle. Was it better or worse? Not visited. And again, I'm making this mistake of trying to talk about some complex issues and playing the game, which is apparently not working well. So I lost gargoyles and 9 gremlins, and so AI managed to finish this battle better. more successfully. I think I'll be satisfied with this outcome. And let's go and defend this town here. Havas is trying to capture it. If I use town TP, where I'll end up? In the first one. That's strange, because on the map it looks like I'm closer to the third one or the second. Yeah, the second one. Speaking of those challenges and getting out of your comfort zone, I think the issue isn't even with the fact that I escape my comfort zone, but the point is that I started a lot of personal projects like streaming, photography, drawing, becoming self-employed, and all of them are like very, very long term. They're huge. They're all huge distances. They each of those spheres require, I think, not less than, well, a year or more of hard work and devotion and contribution constantly, and it's just this feeling that you can't get can't get the fruit from your activity like today or tomorrow or even next month. You have to contribute on a daily basis, but the outcome is not visible, and you have to convince yourself on a daily basis that what you're doing actually makes sense, and then you aren't failing, and people don't think that you are failing, and so on and so forth. And that sometimes is overwhelming, but I think I know lots of ways how to maintain the positive vibe in my head, and so far it worked. I don't know if you have had the same experience. If you have, probably you understand what I mean. Heroes of Might and Magic is pretty buggy, unfortunately, but there is a community patch that fixes a couple of bugs. Never played it myself, just what I heard, and regarding Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I recommend getting the game from GOG.com instead of Steam. The Steam version doesn't have the expansions, and there is also an HD mod for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that adds a lot of quality of life improvements. That last message sounds interesting. There is also an HD mod for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that adds a lot of quality of life improvements. Does it mean that if I have this Heroes of Might and Magic 3 from GOG.com, my life is gonna improve, like my real life? Well, actually, I have both. I have both the Steam version, the HD from Ubisoft, and I have the GOG one. I have them both because the HD one is, how to say it politely, it's limited, restricted to only several, like they don't have the conflux, I think, and without elementals, how can you treat this as a complete game? And so I use the classical one from GOG.com. It just adds shortcuts and makes the UI a bit better. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I told this also during one of my streams that on my public page where I tell people, my students and followers, about my professional life and my where I publish my creative works, I told them there I post there on a weekly basis every Monday, following this fashion of heroes. I take a screenshot from Heroes 3 with the town and maybe a couple of heroes and the landscape. So I take the screenshot and I post this on my social page, and I write astrologers proclaim a week off, and then I just create a week myself that I think matches the situation that's happening around us nowadays. I mean, like what's relevant this week. So for example, 2 weeks ago when there was this presidential race in the US, I think I called it a week of political experts, and I wrote the number of political experts and upgraded political experts doubles, because they were really everywhere. You remember that like Twitter and YouTube and Google were all flooded with commentaries and specialists who were speculating about this and that. And then the next week was the week of thanks, because again in America there is this there was Thanksgiving, I think, on Thursday, and I said that the amount of thanks given doubles playing with this Thanksgiving name. And I already prepared the post to be published tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning local time, which is the week of ice, because here in Siberia it's -20 Celsius outside, and so I called it a week of ice. And I wrote the frost damage doubles, but icing on cakes tastes twice as delicious as well. So hopefully people will appreciate. And I'm planning to do it well, as long as my community exists, and that was another my dream, because I think it just contributes to this community spirit. And there are like so many people who actually played Heroes 3 when they were children, and for them it's a nice warm hello from their childhood. And I actually got some commentaries that people are enjoying that a lot. So, and I'm happy to serve. And speaking about Heroes 7, you wrote that you haven't played. Let me try to pronounce that again. Hopefully again I will be successful. Jan Kodorin Marian. I played Heroes 7 for maybe 2 hours. That was enough to understand the basics of the mechanics and the skill wheel, which is very interesting because it's not randomized. It's fully observable from the start of the game. You can actually plan your development, and I think, you know, the skill wheel, the seed that the game has in Heroes 5, and the randomization of skills actually pissed me off so many times that I find the fact that they made it totally predictable in Heroes 7 very commendable, because finally I'm not forced to actually play for 3 hours only to discover that my ultimate is spoiled because the randomization decided that I definitely need this freaking diplomacy skill for like Haven, or who else depends on leadership. Orcs depend on leadership, and you really like waste 3 or 4 hours of your time. And unlike in Civilization, where you can tick this option when you create a map in Civilization 5 or Civilization 4, you can put that every time you load the game there is a new random seed created, and so the outcome of each battle or village visit or whatever is always generated anew, and so it prevents you from being stuck with some negative consequences that you disliked. Here there is no way. I actually googled, there is no mod, at least not that I have met anything. there is no mod that can prevent this from happening, which is sad. And let me read the message. Just Yanko is fine. So Yanko, nice to meet you again. That's the short name, or it's the nickname. But that's a private question. I mean, maybe you don't want to tell your real name. About Hero 7, I also discovered when I was playing for those 2 hours, so apart from the mechanics of this skill development, I learned that I think I should show it with the battle for more illustration. Let me find somebody to fight with. Okay, I'll come back to that when I'm on the battlefield, because it's an interesting thing to tell. And while I'm looking for a skirmish, I can share the third thing that I discovered with Hero 7, which was the unique siege unit for each race, which I just found fascinating and very cute, because if memory serves, for the elves there was an Ent, a Trent, and for some another race that was another creature, and I just think it's a lovely idea which they could have come up with earlier, but well, anyway, that is really, well, decent thing to put into the game. What I hated about Heroes 7 was I don't know, have you seen their town screens? Like when you actually enter a town and this picture, like, which is not moving, it's just a static picture that reminds me of some, you know, course works from drawing courses, like when people start learning to draw, to do digital art, they sometimes have to complete such works like create a fantasy picture, and it looks, well, stylish, yes, it has some atmosphere in it, but to tell that this is a town for Heroes 7 after Heroes 3, this masterpiece, and after Heroes 5, this amazing cinematics for each town, which on YouTube just it's a monument to what a game could be, and it's like you can spend, I think, hours looking at this beauty, and to give people what they give us in Heroes 7, that's I don't know what guided them actually. Maybe there was some reason behind that. I haven't tried to learn, but I'm talking about my personal impression, and there was no impression, just disgust because I was instantly repelled by that, and I think that was it for the game. I just saw the town screen and I quit the game not wanting to come back. I was unable to observe what they how they massacred my boy, like Godfather said. So about the battlefield in Heroes 7, what is interesting there is, actually I loved it a lot. If you attack from the front, then you get no bonus to the attack. If you attack from the flank, you get 50% bonus to the attack, and if you attack from behind, you get 100 bonus to your attack, which means that instead of recklessly just attacking like this way or this way, which still makes sense because you have to take heed of what the next unit is gonna do to your unit, and about the movement points and so on and so forth, but with flanking and rear attacks, that becomes even more exciting because the amount of options is growing exponentially, and I thought that was, well, a very, very clever idea. And if, for example, Heroes 5 had this, I think I would just be spending half my life in the battles, trying to maximize the outcome. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing they haven't implemented it here. Let's use mass slow, hoping that my units will get the second chance to attack, and I think they will. That was a chain lightning strike, which wasn't very damaging to his army, but I'm happy that glad that my units deflected that. So, I'll probably kill the skirmishers with my gargoyles, then gremlins will kill the harpooners, and golems should be able to decimate the mountain guards. Will they? Yes, they will, because mountain guards are only... well, they're just decent warriors, but they are most effective, I think, against low-level shooters. Yeah, and I think we actually are ready to start our Circle of Glory, which means that I'll be just going around the map counterclockwise, capturing enemy towns, and at the same time we can create a second hero who will be responsible for going clockwise and preventing the enemy from ruining my economy. I know about that, but I think the implementation is a bit lacking. It would be a bit better if it had certain restrictions, like not being able to benefit from flanking if you come from the front of the unit and went behind it, only if you were already behind the unit and attacked it back. It's back. I'm just trying to understand why you think it's not the best idea. Because, well, I think that was what they wanted to do, like in Rome Total War. I mean, not that... I don't remember if it worked in Rome Total War, that you were flanking or attacking from behind, but definitely when that was about spearmen and I think Macedonian spearmen, and like if the horse riders charged just front, what's that? Up front, they were, well, dying on the spears, and attacking from behind, they were taking the advantage of being safe from the spears, and the same with the flank, but not as effectively. So I think that's kind of the same story in Hero 7, that such moves happen in well, a very dynamic environment, and so I think you mean that you have to be kind of creating a trap, or not a trap, but it's kind of an ambush, like you're coming from behind. I remember that gyrocopter from Warcraft 3 who shouts when being killed, they came from behind. So yeah, I think I see, maybe I don't see a point, I mean, maybe I got it wrong, but I'm kind of okay with that mechanics, but I'm saying that only because I haven't actually spent much time playing that. Maybe it's actually awful. I mean, maybe it's actually overbalanced, like unbalanced, and maybe it has to be somehow amended. And what I'm also curious about is, where are good heroes? I mean, like heroes which are kind, like for the good side, not the evil heroes, because the only thing I get is evil heroes like Inferno and orcs, and I need a hero to lead my genies to the battle. For that purpose I need somebody who is with good alignment, but I don't see any. Very surprising. Well, if I can't get a good one, maybe I can just buy all the genes and put them into this town, just to prevent any attacks incoming. Yeah, 86 from here and 24 from here, and let's send Urgat to deliver them. Wow, that's a lot. Hell chargers. How come I lost 5 golems to that? Oh, sulfur, cool. Crystals I don't need, so I'll skip that. Hire and dismiss them. Yeah, we could try that. Interestingly, it's what, month 4, I have 3 almost finished towns, but I still don't have money, and that's why I'm very careful with money spending, not wanting to go overdraft. So yeah, this one will give me a lot of experience because of the shield warriors, shield guards, who will be protecting the town from my attack. But oh, and actually, yeah, I'll have a level up, and I need to sell those trash artifacts. Don't need them. And what kind of a hero is here? Lots, pack, few, several pack. It's not very dangerous, so let's buy the genes, and that should repel him. Goblins, peasants, gremlins. Skip the turn. And let me please ask, what about Vampire the Bloodlines? Bloodlines the Masquerade? Have you played that game, and do you think it sounds interesting for the stream? $662 shield guards. Oh, arcane excellence or archery. Archery. We are archer-based race. We have lots of archers, so it makes sense to get that. And let's enter the town and sell this useless stuff here. Right. And this is not even a finished town. Okay, let's continue. I chose the worst path possible, but I can visit the witch hut. Sack of endless gold. Maybe it will give me something useful. You go to the town, and what do we have? Aha! Inga, Rune Mage. Level 2. No, not interesting. Let's buy Shak Karukat and sell him too. Dismiss him. And see what the next turn brings us. You haven't played Vampires. Well, it's first-person RPG. Very cool one. Well, one of the masterpieces of the previous decade. Unfortunately, was released very rough and raw and unfinished due to the pressure from Activision, and so the developers failed to Tracker Games failed to finish their work on the game, and that plummeted their numbers, and after that the game was pretty much doomed. But thanks to the huge fan base, the game was patched, and it is still patched. Like, for I think it has been under constant work and amendment for more than 15 years, maybe 18 years, and you can imagine how much people love the game that they have been working with it for so much time. Yeah. And actually I find it quite amazing that many games that were not complete by the date of their release are like finished thanks to the communities, or thanks to the studios that decide to rework some of them, and that's a tendency that I find massively satisfying, and especially that I always had, I think I was growing up with a feeling that the games that I preferred were not very popular among my peers, and like, if people played that was about shooters or racing games, and I thought with my preferences towards strategic games and RPGs I was in the minority. But then now I see the Steam communities and people who go for crowdfunding, and apparently there are tens of, well, just millions of people who actually loved what I loved as much as I did, and that is a huge relief. Like, Pillars of Eternity was released, and Tides of Numenera, and Tyranny, Disco Elysium, and that's just to name a few. There were many more. Time to upgrade the Djinns to Djinn Vizier or Djinn Sultan. Speed the same, initiative the same, health points, attack rate. Sultans are more interesting because they have this spell casting, but Random Blessing. Can they not curse? They used to be able to do it. Right, and at the same time, Djinn Vizier has more health points, and I need them for fighting, so that's the purpose for this game, at least. Have you played through the Heroes of Might and Magic 5 campaigns? And I can relate, I also played the last popular games. Yeah, I think I completed... Arantir was his name. At least in Russian it was Arantir, or yeah, something like that. The necromancer who was the main hero of the campaign. So it was the campaign for the Tribes of the East game. Yeah, I think I only finished the campaign for the necromancers, but I did not finish it for the original Heroes 5 game and for the Hammers of Fate, for the second expansion, well, the first expansion, where the dwarves appeared. And the reason why is I only remembered about the campaign when Tribes of the East had already appeared, and you know, to roll back to the times when you actually can't have two options for upgrades was kinda not the best idea. Arantir, yeah, so he was cool. I loved his summoning spell that he summoned that beast that had insane amount of HP, and it was super convenient at the first at the beginning of the game of each map, just to clear up the dwellings and like to kill the neutral forces. There is a mod that lets you play the original Hammers of Fate campaigns in Tribes of the East, and it lets you keep the features like double upgrades and caravans. Wow. Caravans appeared only in Tribes of the East? Really? Do you mean that it wasn't possible in the original Heroes 5 game? I don't remember that. I was still at school when it was my first time to play that game, and maybe I missed that point. Lithos is my favorite. I think maybe top 1, top 2 in the game because of his plague ability. Not plague, it's oh, I always forget. It should be plague, but they call it here decay. Yeah, his decay at the beginning of the battle. It's a very interesting mechanics thing. So yeah. Poison. Yeah, poison is another story. It's that, like, it's super exciting and satisfying to watch Lithos with his assassins and his own decay spell that, like, the battle starts and several units are already under decay spell, and then the assassins shoot, and like each enemy unit eventually gets a double damage strike at the beginning of the turn, and that usually is quite tremendous damage. It's like, even with high level units, 1 or 2 or 3 dice per proc of the poison, and it's like enemies are dying in front of your eyes, and you don't even have to do anything for that matter. So I'm not sure if it was in Hammers of Fate, but it definitely wasn't in the original. Wow, that's a revelation for me. And you actually I see you have such profound knowledge of the game. I marvel at that, because even though I've spent so much time with this one, definitely you were more how to say, you did more homework with that than me, which I find really commendable. You know, this time on this map I was real lucky that I managed to buy Urgat, I managed to buy Grok, and that Rudger never appeared on the map as the main hero, because those three heroes are specialized on logistics, and especially Rudger it's just impossible to catch him. Hey, where are you going? I almost lost my town. Have to be more watchful. So yeah, it seems that I can just I don't even have to check what's happening on the map. I can just go and obliterate my enemy with for example Jeans, leaving all the rest of the troops behind. But I think I'll buy mages also, just for fun, and these guys too. So I'll send Urgat along the bottom, and Aura will go along the top. And I need nothing. Let's just go. Where is the town located? I think somewhere here, because there is a sawmill, and the sawmill must be somewhere close to the town. Yeah, there is the road, so I think I'm going to hit the correct place. Hiding. The blue one is hiding. Wait. Get the movement bonus and then proceed, and you go get the sawmill. Will she be strong enough to... Oh, I didn't take the mages with me. Anyway, basic attack, that's a good one. Victory, defeated Battle Frenzy, let's move on. He didn't even clear up the sprites. Oh my god. Lazy AI. From here, where do I move? I think it has to be somewhere here. Yeah, and the stables also, to get some movement boost. And you know, after I finish this map, I'll probably go play Deus Ex, because I haven't done this for a while, and Adam Jensen is waiting for me to knock out some more enemies. Oh, at least one town is complete, and I don't need to build anything here. I got some spells. Deflect missile, for example. Very powerful one. Moving on to here and cross the river, and you get the stables perk. Yeah. Then let's get some morale and luck. And attack, fled, attack, victory, advanced attack, stun and blow, and there is the last town to conquer. Hey, Kilgan. Kilgan, you are not. No, it's not that you're not prepared. Well, not only are you not prepared, but also you shall not pass. Pursue. Oh, there was so much to loot here. To loot and gain experience, and AI just did nothing. Only trying to kill each other. You know, this map started in a very bad way because the blue player just killed the red one, probably the green one first, and the green one was to blame himself because the green one was the aggressor, tried to attack me, eventually lost his one town to me, and then was punished by the, maybe by the red actually, by the red one, and after that the red one was killed by the blue, and that's it. And now the blue is defeated. And the game is in my pocket. I've completed the mission, so I just, before I go to Deus Ex, I want to say that again, haven't been playing Heroes 5 for 15 years. I think it's the third FFA map which I actually managed to complete till the end, and the second one was several days ago, and the first one was also several days ago. It was only because I was on the stream and I was recording, and I wanted to actually have this completionist sense, you know, that I actually defeated the enemy and not just gave up when it became obvious that I would win. So, and that's it for the academy, and I am closing this mission, and from now I think I'll first of all stop the recording of